dads, really helps calibrate people. I mean, it really helps get us together and connect as people. And this is a lesson I learned during childbirth. And I'm not going to lie to you, childbirth is painful. The screaming, the yelling, the sobbing, and that was just when I got the bill. But I'm going to share our first child being born. I'll start at the beginning. Okay, I won't start right at the beginning because some things should be just between my wife and I. But I'll start 8 months and 30 days into the beginning to August 7th, 1992. I just got back from the gym. It was a Friday. I was sitting there, drinking my water, hanging out, and my wife comes up to me and says, "Hey, I think my water just broke." And in my infinite wisdom as a man, I said, "No, you probably just peed your pants." Again, I was wrong. I don't know how this really worked out, because I entered my 20s with no kids and a Camaro, and I exited my 20s with 4 kids in a full-size conversion van. Whole different story. But we went on the hour drive to the hospital. I put the towel down so she could sit on it, because obviously I didn't want to mess up my Camaro. I had no idea that children would mess it up way more than any amniotic fluid. We get to the hospital, and I was like the only person that had studied for a pop quiz. Everybody knew what was going on. My wife knew what was going on. The doctor knew what was going on. Knew what was going on. I mean, the candy striper knew what was going on. I mean, I had absolutely no idea what was going on. And you never feel more useless than standing there. It's like, okay, tell her to breathe. Okay, breathe. I didn't know what that meant. So we went through there. All night we were there. We got there about 8 o'clock at night. All night we were there. And it was a long night for me. I was out here rubbing her back. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. The morning passed. Finally, the next day is about 11 o'clock, and I was starving. I was like, "Oh, please, sweet Jesus. I would give my life for a pretzel right now." And the nurse said, "Hey, she gets a lunch. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Chow." So they bring up her lunch, and I am just like, I am inhaling this like I had never eaten before. I'm just like throwing food back, putting it down. They say something like, whatever. It's all like, and it came down to this, a piece of chocolate cake. And I looked at that piece of chocolate cake, and it looked at me, and all of a sudden, over in the distance here, the nurse says, "I can see the head. The baby's coming." And I was like, "Chocolate cake? See the baby. Chocolate cake? See the baby. Chocolate cake. See the baby?" And the nurse said, "Honey, just shove it in your mouth and get over here and see this." So I shoved it in my mouth, I went over and I saw it, thereby showing that you can have your cake and eat it too. That's how we look at having fun at work and having a little bit of humor at work, isn't it? That it's an either or, that, hey, take myself seriously or take the situation lightly. See the humor in the situation or declare the gravity of the situation. That having fun at work, for us as leaders, we need to tell people that it's not an either or, it's an either and. That you can have both, and we can find that. It helps get rid of that stress.